Hey guys, I'm back. Time to jump into some more Sonic 3 and Knuckles by making our way through Mushroom Hill Zone. So, let's get started. So here we are, Mushroom Hill Zone. Mushroom Hill Zone serves as the intro stage to Sonic and Knuckles. It lives up to its reputation as an intro stage. There aren't too many enemies here that will pose a threat to the player. This will essentially allow the player to get used to the game mechanics. That is, if they were playing the original Sonic and Knuckles and not Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Anyway, the main gimmick to this stage are these mushrooms. If you jump on them, as demonstrated, they will bounce you higher. This is actually quite the blessing because this will essentially allow the player to be able to reach the top paths of this particular stage. Anyway, going right here, and we meet our first enemy. This is known as Butterdroid. Butterdroid isn't really too much of a threat. It basically lazily drifts towards you. This allows the player ample time to be able to attack them. Going right here, and we are introduced to the next, I guess you can say, mission. Jumping into this giant ring will take us to Hidden Palace Zone and begin the Super Emerald Challenge. As you can see, our Chaos Emeralds are taken from us. They will soon be replaced by Super Emeralds. It should be noted that the Super Emerald Challenge is completely optional. The player can essentially bypass this mission if they want to. Essentially, the Super Emerald Challenge is a bonus. By basically doing it and completing it, the player gains access to the Hyper Form, which retains all the strengths of the Super Form with one additional element, that being able to breathe underwater. That's really it. Anyway, let's begin. This particular special stage is the first one that the player would be introduced to if they were playing Sonic and Knuckles. It's a pretty easy one, but you can quickly get lost. So, I apologize if I go silent. Even though I did say mistakes would be shown, I'd really rather not make a mistake. Unlike Sonic, Knuckles doesn't really get the same amount of giant rings on his path that Sonic does. That is, unless you can break onto Sonic's path. But in certain situations that can be difficult to do. Okay, where's the last batch? There they are. There they are. Okay, one Super Emerald down, 6 more to go. And we get this nice cool animation of the emerald lighting up. However, one thing I will note, by losing the Chaos Emeralds, we can no longer access our super form. That's not really too much of a problem in Mushroom Hill Zone. as the mini-boss and the final boss of the stage aren't really too much of a threat. However, it should be noted that the one elemental shield you want for this stage will be the Flame Shield. The main reason for this is the mini-boss and the final boss of this stage have fire attacks, essentially. Their jet propulsions underneath the machines can hurt you if you try to attack them without the Flame Shield. Anyway, this is the next enemy. This is called Mushmini. Mushmini isn't too much of a threat. All it really does is kind of bounce towards you. The only thing that can catch you off guard is essentially the length of its jump. Sometimes that can even catch me off guard. This enemy is called Dragonfly. Much like the previous enemy, it's not too much of a threat. Its only attack is to fly up and down. However, one thing that can catch you off guard is the fact that the segments can hurt you. To defeat it, you have to hit its head. Anything else, and you will take damage. This enemy is called Mad Mole. All it really does is throw a bunch of mushrooms at you. Not too much of a threat. The only thing that can catch you off guard is sometimes it will throw you into traps. That's about it. Time your attack and you shouldn't have a problem. Oh, well, there's a demonstration of its attack. I nearly took damage from that butter droid. And yet, there's another demonstration. I'm having an off day here. Bye, I'm just going to ignore you. Okay, see if I can get this timed right. There we go. There's another giant ring hidden up here. Let's go for our second Super Emerald. This particular special stage I selected would be the third one you would do in Sonic & Knuckles. This one isn't too difficult per se, just be wary of the orange spheres. If you get too close to them, they can basically propel you across the stage. And in the later stages, they love to hide red spheres on the receiving end of that. Anyway, I'm going to go silent for a few minutes. Hopefully I can get through this one without too many problems. Okay, there we go. 2 down, 5 more to go. I should note, be careful when exiting these little hidden alcoves. Sometimes the game can sadistically place an enemy at the exit. Pinball Land. I'm probably going to regret this, but I love Pinball Land. Ah, missed that ring bubble. Anyway, go down here for another giant ring. Let's choose this one. This particular special stage isn't really too bad. It's pretty linear. Just be careful on making some of your jumps. That's all I really gotta say about this one. As I said, it's pretty linear. And we have obtained the third Super Emerald. Anyway, get off this vine and head right. Just be wary of the Mushmini here. However, we can just bounce on the mushrooms to avoid it. No screen time for you. And here's another giant ring. This particular special stage is a nasty one. It's very linear, as we basically just go in a giant circle. However, what makes this particular special stage nasty is that if you miss one blue sphere in this rotation, yeah, there's no recovering from it. Especially when... Let me rephrase that. This can happen particularly when we start going faster. Whew. As I said, that one can be particularly mean. One mess up and there is no recovery. Perfecting this one when I do the special stage perfect run is going to be hard. Mainly because all the rings are located in an alcove just to the right of the blue sphere path. Getting back in line is hard, needless to say. Hard is an understatement, but yeah. Anyway. Well, I missed that one. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't want to lose my shield. Well, I really don't need to go into a special stage there to get a shield because I have the shield I need. Anyway, onwards to the mini-boss. This mini-boss is called He Who. Yeah, that's its name. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Its only attack is to throw wooden logs at you. That's really it. It just chops these trees down and attempts to throw them at you. To attack it, you need to hit it from underneath. That's why I recommended the flame shield, is those jet propulsions underneath it can hurt you. Other than that, let's end Act 1. Onwards to Act 2. Now, in Act 2, Knuckles has his own path. If you recall when you were playing Sonic and Tails, a scripted scene would occur when Knuckles basically uses this device to send you to the upper path. However, no scripted scene here because we're playing as Knuckles. We can just bust this wall and move onwards. Now, one thing to keep in mind about Knuckles' path is that it is littered with a lot of spikes. So, proceed with caution. Ignore this dragonfly for a second. And we find an invincibility shield. Segments will not hurt us for about 15 seconds. Anyway, this enemy is known as Cluckoid. It only appears in Act 2, and it attempts to blow you into spikes, as demonstrated. Attack it when it's deflated. That's all I can really recommend. Attempt to attack it when it's essentially trying or blowing you backwards will basically only serve to get you injured. Mainly because it's usually in conjunction with a lot of traps, more specifically spikes. Yeah, I got caught in one of the traps here. This is a vine trap. In this case, the vine trap kind of saved us here, but it was also... Let me rephrase that. The vine traps are in both Act 1 and Act 2. Usually they're in conjunction with a lot of enemies. If you get caught in them, you more than likely will take damage. However, in this time, the vine trap saved us because essentially being caught in it prevented the Cluckoid from firing me backwards. Yeah, even the Cluckoid can even blow you off the wall. See what I mean? Conjunction with traps. Oh crap. There we go. Yeah, basically to get out of the vine traps, you need to spin dash. I don't think this is a problem for Super Sonic, or basically any of the Super Forms or Hyper Forms, mainly, okay, demonstrate segments hurt. As I was saying, I don't think this is a problem with the Super or Hyper Forms, mainly because they have, what's the term I'm looking for? They can basically go faster than the ordinary forms. So basically all you have to really do is just push forward. I could be wrong about that. Is this? Yes, this is a giant ring. Okay, so which ones do I want to do next? The last three are particularly difficult. I guess which one is the least annoying? Let's go with this one. More than likely I'll mess this one up. But that's okay. This one always makes me nervous. Just for the tight turns you have to make. Okay. Whoops. Wrong turn. That one makes me nervous. Like I said, there's a lot of tight turns to be made on that one. Just be wary of the dragonfly. No you're not. And you did it anyway. Okay. Ah. Okay, we got a ring back. Phew. Yeah, making that glide down is difficult. No, 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 no. Nope. Bypass that. I need a ring. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot about this area. Okay. Okay, good. A ring. Phew. Oh, that was close. Okay. We're about to happen upon the final boss. See if I can get a flame shield for this. Actually, any shield would really do, but flame shield would be preferred. See if I can make this. Nope. Good. Free one up, why not? Anyway, this is the final boss. This particular boss is known as the Jetmobile. A little interesting fact about the Jetmobile is that it will never attack you. Basically, this whole fight hinges on an obstacle course. You have to catch up with the Jetmobile and attack it. It's better if I showed you. Basically, just jump over these spikes. After a certain amount of hits, the Jetmobile will basically... Ah, that was a bad attack. Will basically crash into a tree. That's it. That is the boss fight. Anyway, we are at the animal prison, so I'm going to call it here. In the next part, we shall make our way through Vine Battery Zone. I hope everybody enjoys this, and I shall see you in the next episode.